Hey everyone, this is Joe Calla, General Manager of Dealer Synergy, and on behalf of AutomotiveInternetSales.com, I'm here with Susan Givens, the publisher of the #1 magazine in the auto industry, AutoSucces magazine. Hi, Susan.
Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, doing good. Me and Susan have a relationship for about 7 years. We've known each other in the industry.
Yep.
And we met, I guess, about 2007 or so, in that range. But Susan, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, just let us know about who you are and where you came from and how you got involved with the auto industry.
Sure. I grew up, born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. I happily married, have 3 boys at home, 6 months, 2 and 5.
Oh.
Yes. So, you know, in addition to the magazine, I'm kind of a busy girl on the side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I started with the magazine when I was in college. I was getting ready to graduate, and I caught wind of somebody that was starting a magazine, and they were looking for salespeople. So, you know, I went and interviewed, and they're like, "Would you like to sell for a magazine?" Little did I know that the magazine hadn't even come out yet. Like, the first issue hadn't even been produced.
So they haven't even. So they're asking people to sell a magazine that's not even out yet,
and be 100% commission.
100% commission.
So,
wow.
You know, being the naive college student that I was, I accepted that. I, you know, finished my college degree. I worked another job, and then I sold on the side at 100% commission.
Wow.
And kind of hustled my way. You know, bought a little bit of the magazine, bought a little bit more, and then 7 years ago, I bought my owner out. And we've been in publication for 13 years now. So,
wow.
So I guess I did something right.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, yeah.
I think it was a lot of being that young naive, but it really...
Maybe it was better.
Exactly,
that you had that, just, go out and then figure it out as you go kind of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
It worked out good.
It worked out good.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
Absolutely. So AutoSucces magazine, its inception was in 2000.
Yep.
And how many dealers does it affect today?
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about it.
We go out to a little over 22,500 new car dealerships.
Wow. That's just rooftops.
That's
just
right.
Dealerships.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow.
So we are addressed to the owner and the general manager of these dealerships. Now, our magazine reaches so many more than the 22,500. I know that we get calls, emails, messages every week, from sales managers, from people in the service department, from internet directors, wanting an extra copy of the magazine, or hey, we use that in our sales meeting, or whatever.
Sure.
So so it reaches so many more people than that.
It does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny. When I was in my store, the store that I was at when I was working there, we actually we used to get it, and so it would go from I'd see it sitting on the GM's desk, and then it would make its way to the GSM's desk, and the used car manager, new car manager, sales managers, internet department, floor guys on the floor, all the way to the back in service. We'd see it sitting there, people sitting there waiting for their cars, and there's AutoSucces magazine on the desk right next to them, and even in the service writers. So it's true. It does make its way through the entire dealership, and I think the great thing about it, and that's one thing that I think that makes it so successful, and the reason why it is the #1 magazine in the auto industry, is because it doesn't just focus on one particular area of the dealership. It actually deals with the whole dealership.
Exactly. And that's another cool thing about our magazine too, is, you say that you've seen it passed on. The cool thing is the shelf life on our magazine. We don't report the news. It's all educational. It's training articles in the magazine. So, something that's relevant now will be relevant, 6 months from now.
Yeah.
A lot of it's technology too, which could change, but but the basics, the leadership, the marketing, there's awesome information. I had a guy that emailed me last week from, 6 years ago. He read an article about, it was some kind of leadership topic. He wanted more information, or he wanted me to give him that article, which is cool because on our website, he could just, search for that author or that topic and it'll pop up. So
that's great. And so there's timeless teachings, there's timeless principles that are in there. And you mentioned your website. What is the website? It's
AutoSuccessOnline.com. Okay. So they can go on that. They can search for any of the past issues and download the entire issue. They can search our blogs. They can listen to podcasts. They can look at our e-newsletter. all of that information. There's so many resources for dealerships on there. And not just resources for dealerships, it's any of the automotive people. You know, if you're a vendor, if you're an expert in the industry, anybody that is in the automotive industry, there's something for you on there.
Yeah, and I agree with that because, again, being and looking in there and seeing it and reading the articles and seeing, now going to that too, there's a lot of contributors. You know, how you said, you can just go right on the AutoSuccessOnline.com. You can put, an author or a writer or contributor's name in the search bar, and you can search them out and look for whatever topics they've written or particular articles they've written in there. So what are some of the contributors? Name a few of them if you could.
Okay, we have a lot of dealership people. Marsh Bice, Robert Weissman, he was a sales guy. Tracy Myers, he owns some dealerships in Salem, Winston.
Okay.
We have some industry experts as far as like vendor-wise. Sean Bradley, Sean Stapleton, Dale Pollock, who's a legend in our industry.
Oh yeah.
We have pretty much any topic writer that you could be interested in is in our magazine.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I have the best of both worlds when it comes to owning this magazine, because I not only deal with awesome dealership people, but I also deal with awesome vendor people, and all these people are experts in the industry. So, I get the best of both worlds.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the other things too that is real interesting to me is that being in your position, you don't only have, again, like you were saying, you don't only hear and see what's happening in this side of the dealership world. You also hear from the vendors and things as such. So what is something now overall that, in the industry, whether you're a dealer, a vendor, a salesperson, manager, what is hot? What's the topics that are really trending right now and things that, are kind of, interesting to the auto world right now?
Are able to get so many customers just from their social networking and being able to, hire a social media director for their dealership and kind of orchestrate that. Any referrals, how to get referrals into your dealership. That's old school, everybody's referral, you've always had the referral process, but there's new ways to do it now. Yeah. So there's a lot of basics that have been in the industry for a long time, but things are being revamped now into, this century, like into where we are now.
Yeah, they're kind of getting refreshed and kind of like, set up for today's, buyer, how to package it the right way, how to do it the right way. It's funny, social media, and again, being on this side of the industry, I was in the industry on, the sales side, management side as well, but now coming over here on this side, we talk to dealers that is very hot. We're dealing with, referrals. How do we get people, to come in and repeat business, and how do we mine? And also, not only that, how do we go ahead and deal with our social media strategy? That's like, a big one right now. And it seems like it's been big for, like you said, even last year, maybe a little bit, but each year as we go on, I feel like dealers are getting a better hold of it, and they're really figuring out now how to make it work, and with the new, updates to the different sites as they get better. And
there's so many vendors out there that are, introducing these really cool things that are making it so much easier for the dealerships.
True. That's definitely true. So, so that's great. I mean, listen, AutoSucces magazine truly is the #1 magazine in the auto industry. And this is why, as you can hear, the things that we're talking about, it really is relevant and relative to the people who read it and the people in the dealership world. So, Susan, I want to thank you for coming out and all the way from Kentucky to good old New Jersey and, having this time with me. And on behalf of AutomotiveInternetSales.com and Dealers Synergy and myself and Susan Givens with AutoSucces magazine, thank you for watching this interview with us. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to either call myself or Susan, and make sure you go on to AutoSuccessOnline.com and check out all those resources in there and see exactly what you can get from this. All right?
Thank you.
Thanks again, Susan.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bradley On Demand is the most advanced virtual training, tracking, testing, and certification platform. What does that mean? It's an online university. And if you like this information here, we have hundreds and hundreds of advanced videos, step by step, on how to help you sell more cars more often and more profitably. So sign up now.